Alright, so what we got here on the workbench today is a Briggs and Stratton 6S, another 6S like the one on the shelf that came from eBay. This one here was a barn find. I got it a couple of months ago. Uh, I did a video when I got this one. It's pretty crusty. It turns over. I'm gonna have to pull an oil pan because it's just full of sludge. And if there's still good parts in here, I don't want to screw them up. Like the rod and the main bearings, I don't want to mess them up with some stuff from the bottom of the oil pan. So I can tell just by turning over, it's got a blowed head gasket. I can hear it. You can hear it right there. So I'm gonna get the camera up on the tripod and we can pull his head off and see what it looks like in there. Alright, so we gotta pull the little, very hard to find cover off of here. These little covers are really hard to find. It took me a couple of years to find one, the one that's on my NPR6 over there. There's a spider. Sorry, spider lovers, I don't like them myself. A little bit crusty under there. So, I'm going to take the shroud off too. Make sure there ain't no more spiders in it. And give me easier access to the head. Ignore the roosters crowing. This bolt here has to come all the way out. Oh yeah, it's 15 kinds of crusty in here. Must have a front main seal leaking. Not seeing any more living spiders. Governor's stuck. Not the correct spark plug. This is a tapered seal spark plug. Go ahead and pull his head off. Every one of these is pretty well finger tight. That one there is just not even, just sitting in the hole. Just not even tight. Yep, head was loose. Covered up in crud. That's a really nice looking head. See how many spiders are back here. Well, that's just impacted. Crap. I don't know if it's spider webs or what. There's a beetle of some kind that's living. I know mice can't get in these fins, so must be other creatures getting in there. I guess it's just spiders getting in there. Alright. Cylinder looks pretty good. Both valves are opening and closing. Peel this head gasket off. Yep, it's been loose a while. Because the block deck's rusty. I'm gonna have to take a wire brush and clean that up. Alright, so I need to pull the gas tank because it's all crusty. I think I showed that in the first video. 2 screws that hold it on. Both of them don't want to come out. At all. This one's coming out. This one here is going to be stubborn, apparently. Alright, then I'll wait a second on that. Top of the piston don't look bad. And this thing has no spark. I'm going to have to pull the flywheel off. So I'm going to finish getting this gas tank off camera. Alright, so I wound up having to pull the gas tank off and the carburetor off. Here's what I got so far. Got a crusty gas tank. So, yeah, that's going to have to be cleaned big time. I'm going to go ahead and take this over to the parts washer. Heck, might just take the whole engine over there. Alright, so I've cleaned up the top of the motor. And this motor has had some work done at one point. Because you can see, if I can get out of the shadow of the camera, there's a line right here at the exhaust valve. It's a pretty low hour motor. But it's had a valve job at one point. Because you see this line right here. That's a hardened exhaust seat. No hardened seat on the intake. But it does have a hardened seat on the exhaust. So that's nice. This one here definitely needs to be restored. But it's probably going to have rings. The cylinder don't seem to be that worn. It's still, there ain't no wobbling the piston. So there's no ring bridge in the cylinder either. So I'm going to get the flywheel off and then need to pull the oil pan. All right, so I got the crusty nut off of this. Well, this don't want to move. What is this thing's deal? Holding it on. There shouldn't be anything holding it on. All right, then. Let it all come off at once. All right, flywheel's loose. It still don't want to come off. There we go. And key is mangled. But other than that, it's pretty clean back here. I see what was hanging it up. Little tab ain't right. Flywheel looks all right. See if we can get a year off of it. So it's a 54. Made in January of 54. See if we can get behind this points cover and see what it looks like back there. Need a 1/4 inch socket. Hold on. All right. Okay. Points are not even moving. They were glued together. I think the plunger might be stuck. Denser looks all right. Definitely get a seeping front main seal. There's oil behind here. Other than that, it's really clean. So I'm going to take the points loose if I can. There. Well, there's no insulator behind that. So that's why somebody couldn't get this engine to run at one point. I don't think I have an insulator. The plunger's definitely stuck. And that seal is definitely shot. Heck, the points look all right. They ain't hardly corroded. They're covered in oil. you can see. Still run a little piece of sandpaper through them. Alright, that's got the points good and clean. But I have no earthly idea if I have one of those insulators or not. Don't think I do. Go ahead and pull a condenser and I can test that. Everything's clean, that's nice. Behind here. So, guess I can try to pull the oil pan now. See what kind of crap's in there. I'm almost wondering if this wouldn't be a better one just to go ahead and paint. Then, will it run? I'm sure it will run, but it's pretty crusty. Don't look bad so far. Bolts are so rusty it ain't funny. There. This don't have the flat-headed bolts in it. There. That don't want to come off. There. Yeah, it's pretty sludgy in there. But that motor's clean down inside of it. Yeah. A little rod slop. Bit of back and forth in it. I don't know if you can hear it. That's what the oil pan looks like. PB blaster in it. But yeah, I'm wondering if this might not just rather be a full restoration than a just a will it run. Gasket surfaces are good. I'm going to take this over and get it in the parts washer. I'm glad I pulled this valve cover because there's dead bugs in there. Yeah, I might be going to call this one a full restoration before it'll run. There's all kinds of crap in there. Alright, so I've decided on the 6S here that instead of continuing to try to get it to run right now, I'm going to go ahead and restore it. Because I haven't done a restoration series in a while, this will be 2 parts pretty quick. I've rebuilt a bunch of these 2-inch bore Briggs, so just got to get all the parts cleaned up and everything. But got to finish tearing it down first. Still got to get the mag plate off, get the crank out, get the cam out, and the valves. So this will be part 1 of this, and part 2 will be coming out in a week or 2 when I get all this stuff cleaned up. So I'm going to try to make this just 2 parts. So I'm going to go ahead and continue taking this apart. So when I pulled the valve cover off, there were bugs and everything else in there, and it's all crusty. This thing's been run with Quaker State in it, and it's all full of that paraffin black sludgy crap. And I don't want to run it like that and possibly screw something up. I already pulled the piston out. The piston looks alright, but the rings are shot. So it would have smoked like a freight train. It's also coming a thunderstorm right now, if you can hear it. For some reason there's 2 washers on that lock washer and the flat washer. Never seen that before. Also, when we get the mag plate off, we'll find out if the flywheel date matches the mag plate. But I'm gonna order a new gasket kit, some rings. The valves are fine, not gonna order new valves, but it'll be getting new front rear main seals, all new gaskets, and new rings. About all it needs. So a lot of times the best way to get the mag plate off of one of these, because you don't want to beat on the mag plate, is like that. Pretty nice, but it's got that all over it. If I can get some oil on this and help it out some. A lot of times on these crankshafts, get the end of them rusty and there's no way to clean them up. There we go. That's a really nice looking crank right there. So now, yeah, rear main looks all right. Check it out some better here in a little while. Go ahead and pop this seal out if I can. Yep. Yeah, seal would have leaked. It's all dry rotted. There's a chicken that snuck in here. Now it's going to start squawking at me. Got the intake valve out. There's no slop in the valve guide, so, but as I mentioned before, this thing's had a valve job at one point. All right, so now I'm removing the camshaft. There's the cam. There's the shaft. Both of which look really, really nice. No play in them. All right, so now I got to mark the valves. Or not the valves, the lifters. Good looking lifters too. All right. So that's it pretty much, except for the muffler and the exhaust valve. And the exhaust valve would be fighting me. All right, so the exhaust valve looks just as good as the intake. And there is no play in the guide. So this ought to be a really good running motor. But see, that's part of the reason that I decided to go ahead and restore it. These fins are impacted with crap. And yeah, I could have pulled the mag plate, cleaned it out, and put it all back together. But if I'm going to do that, might as well go ahead and paint it, which is what I'm going to do with it anyways. So these fins are just impacted with crap. This thing must come off a mower or something. So, still got to get the muffler off. I'm not going to film that. And I got to get some of this stuff over a parts washer and start cleaning it. This thing has had a hardened exhaust seat put in it. So, that's nice. Thing back here looks good. I do not pull the main bearings unless I'm going to replace them. These are alright. I'm not replacing these. So, alright, so I guess that's about going to do it for part 1 of the Briggs and Stratton 6S restoration. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you in the next video.